So have you heard the news? Panasonic's brand new GH6 has leaked 4 days ahead of time. I have the footage and I have the translations. Get the beverage of your choice, settle down. This is going to be a good one. Well, you may or may not know that someone on YouTube has prematurely released footage of the new GH6. It's still 4 days away from release, but I am translating for you what they are saying and giving you a quick and easy English take on exactly what they've discovered. In this clip, he explains that the grip of the new GH6 is easy to grasp, and that the new camera is both larger and heavier than the previous GH5. Whereas the old camera weighed in at 645 grams, the new camera comes in at a heavier 739 grams. This diagram shows the drive mode dial, the two stereo microphones, hot shoe, mode dial, shutter button, front dial, these three dials, and the audio information display. He then goes on to show this shot of the audio information page. You can see it's 48 Hz and 24-bit. Then he shows the audio gain switch. On the rear of the camera, he goes on to show the operation lock lever, then the play button, EVF, and the focus mode lever, which surrounds the autofocus button. The autofocus on-off button, the joystick, the quick menu, control dial, and control dial button, back button, and finally the display switch button. Here he demonstrates a tilt angle monitor. This is something that the S1H has and is a welcome addition to the GH6. On the front, he goes on to show the lens mount, the lens release button, two function buttons, a big red record button, helpful for those that are filming themselves, and last but not least, time code in and out, helpful for Netflix approval, I'm sure. And lastly, you'll need a cable, one like this, to make that time code work. Moving on to the left side of the camera, we have a microphone input, headphone port, USB 3.2, and a full-size HDMI Type A port. Notice also these vents, so we have active cooling in the GH6, and lastly a remote terminal. Opening the memory card slot reveals a CFast Express Type B and also a SD Type UHS 3 card slot. I'm delighted to say that above the Q20 tripod mount screw there is also a witness hole. It's about time. The battery is also compatible with previous GH models. The 25 megapixel LPF sensor is capable of high-resolution shooting up to 100 megapixels. And we have a 5.7 video shooting mode and a maximum shooting mode of 300 frames per second. Here's a quick translation. If you want to pause it, please feel free to. As you can see here, Apple ProRes is included in the new GH6, but make a note of that. That is not ProRes RAW. Not ProRes RAW, just Apple ProRes. Some of these pictures take me back to when I used to have my GH5s. They were a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Nice little camera. As you can see here, the new camera will support bit rates up to 600 megabits per second in Vlog, 10-bit 422. And then finally, he goes on to show us some brief sample footage. Of course, all the regular disclaimers about this being on finished firmware would apply. Now here he mentions that the base ISO is 800 and 2000, and that an ND is absolutely necessary if you're going to be shooting at these high ISOs. particularly outdoors. And we have a few more shots. This is an ISO test, 3200, comparing to the GH5 II, 6400. And 12,800. I'm not sure how well this is going to translate in this video, but make of it what you will. Here we see the audio accessory. This is the same XLR adapter that's available on the previous GH models, but in this case we record 4 channels of audio, which is nice to have. Up next, he does an autofocus test, and this I'm sure is what a lot of you were curious about. I think with these particular tests it's going to be hard to discern how good the autofocus is because he's pretty much always straight in line with the middle of the sensor, and a lot of cameras can perform well under those conditions. That's a must-have for YouTube. And here are the various AF modes on the new camera. And here he goes on to say that the people recognition is available in all modes. The GH6 also includes eye and face recognition, bringing it into the modern era of cameras. On this next page, he explains that there is a focus limit available on the GH6, so you can set a certain range at which it will only focus between, which is very useful if you do manual focus. You can see that you can save your various custom settings and then access them via the mode dial. And of course he's recommending you turn off the white balance so you're not recalling that with your custom modes, and then saving the modes. And you can assign those modes to custom buttons. This page is the image stabilization page. It includes settings for anamorphic lenses. And here again is our autofocus menu to select the focus area. He then goes on to speak about a number of lenses. You can see the title of what the lens type is. I don't know if these are new. Maybe they are. I guess they are. Maybe they're launching with the GH6. He flips it over and he's looking at the GH5 II compared to the GH6, and he's speculating that because we're missing this array of pins that perhaps the GH6 does not have an option for a battery grip, which is the first I've heard of that, but maybe that's the case. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, subscribe, like, and share, and hit me up in the comments, and I will catch you next time.